Oh, what to do, everybody? Welcome back to another TikTok Trash Tuesday. You'll excuse me. My goodness. I've had some spicy pizza. That's just some spicy pizza, as is known to be said. That's not true. But it was. I put a little hot sauce on the pizza because I like to live life on the edge. Be a little bit happy double deuce day. Yes, sir. Double deuces indeed. This is TikTok Trash 22. And let's put the official one up there. And as such, 22 is my lucky number. Do you know that? 22. That's one of those lucky numbers there and everything. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully we've got some good stuff here. This week, we're going to be talking about, as you can see from the little teaser images here, we're going to be talking about Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, that's become a little bit of a hot button item recently here. So we're going to be talking about that via a TikTok. Hood movies for white folks. I qualify as white folks and could be a little bit hood, some would say, from time to time. I live in the city, so that counts as something. And I got Marco talking about being an unwilling participant in Saw. We got that and a whole bunch of other fine things for you to check out this evening. So do me a big old giant favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. And we're going to play a game. We're going to play a game because we're going to have our first TikTok there. And normally I don't really care about like what order things go in and stuff like that. But today I actually decided the order and I wanted the Tarantino thing up top for a couple of different reasons. Because number one, it's making a whole bunch of news. Excuse me. Oh my God. I'm telling you, that hot sauce just like opens up the everything. It just kind of starts flowing out of you. But so I wanted to talk about Tarantino because he's in the news here with his with his talkings and whatnot. So we're going to be talking about that. And the fact that I got to go out this weekend to see Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair on the big screen and everything, and how much I thoroughly enjoyed that. But do me a big giant favor, hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And hit the hype button for the love of God. If you're on mobile, just go down to where you see the little description there and everything, and where you can swipe left and right for it to tell you some AI shit about how like, hey, here's what this video is really about or whatever. Swipe over to the thing there. Hit the hype button. The more people hit the hype button, the more that the channel is going to end up getting recommended. It gets on some sort of leaderboard or anything. Have we been anywhere close to the leaderboard? Hell's to the no. But you know who can help save that? You fine people. So go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button, comment, all those fun things, and we'll have a good time tonight. Hopefully, I don't know. We're gonna have some. I might have some controversial things to say because on top of this Tarantino thing, Specifically, I've listened to what's been talked about, and I honestly believe most people haven't. So we're gonna talk about all that kind of good stuff. But let's before we do though, I do want to say a big old giant thank you to all the people who support this show over at patreon.com/HMP. Those awesome people get the pre-show, post-show, dinger zone, and all those kind of fun stuffs and things that go with it. We haven't seen these names change in a bit. I'm going to start shaming and blaming some people in a while. This is literally like credits that you can get in Hollywood. And you know what you pay for these credits? $1. Right now, because we have a limited amount of Patreon supporters, but they're all here. Literally, they're all here. So your name could go up there if for the low price of $1. And then when your mom says, how come you're not doing anything? You could throw this in her face and being like, listen, I am a producer of independent media. Throw that around at Christmas dinner. See where it gets you. You know where it gets you? To the top of Respectsville. That's where it gets you. Patreon.com/HMP. You get it at any level, pre-show, post-show, dinger zone, and occasionally we get to do some votes and stuff like that. And of course, your word counts for a whole hell of a lot over there, as in our Patreon supporter Applescruff actually went through and dropped our pretty much our theme this month and everything. Gave us a whole bunch of movies with which to choose from, and we chose from them on said dinger zone. And, again, it's all because of you fine folks. And we really appreciate you. Patreon.com/HMP. Love you to death, everybody. Let's get into it, huh? Let's get into it. We got a whole bunch of things to talk about here on TikTok Trash Tuesday. I'll get it one of these days, I promise. Let's see if we can.
You're the weakest actor in SAG.
First of all, I'll say this. I love this animation. Let me get more. Where is the correct? All right. I think this is it. I want to get all the correct stuff up here so everything looks right. There we go. Got to get all the graphics, the graphics. If you're a person that pronounces it GIF. That's a slight against you. All right. Let's go from the top here so I'm not screwing stuff up. And I want to get my friggin' hold on. Don't display my name. I don't want people to know who the hell I am. Keep it quiet, damn it. Keep it on the down low. I don't want anybody to know when I'm doing this. And the numbers say that mission accomplished. All right, let's go.
You're the weakest actor in SAG. You actually ruin the movies you're in. I could tolerate any modern remake of a classic film for days. I could sit and watch how they shot the whole thing digitally as a soulless cash grab with a big smile on my face. And they'd say, "How can you stand it, Quentin?" And I'd say, "Because I've watched There Will Be Blood with Paul Dano. I can take anything."
Now, for those of you that haven't put this together and everything, this is obviously what Quentin Tarantino kind of sort of said on the Bret Easton Ellis podcast. We'll talk about it in just a second. But very specifically, that this is a Planes, Trains, and Automobiles reference. So I want you to watch it again now with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles in your head, and then get it, because it's good.
You're the weakest actor in SAG. You actually ruin the movies you're in. I could tolerate any modern remake of a classic film for days. I could sit and watch how they shot the whole thing digitally as a soulless cash grab with a big smile on my face. And they'd say, "How can you stand it, Quentin?" And I'd say, "Because I've watched There Will Be Blood with Paul Dano. I can take anything."
You want to hurt me? Go right ahead if it makes you feel any better. I'm an easy target. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, you could have edited the shit a little bit better. I'm gonna have to bust some balls on that one, because like this is gold shit, but you haven't done all the work. You were so damn close.
I play weak characters. I also play strong characters. Well, I could be a cold-hearted film snob like you, but I don't like to insult actors for no reason. Well, you think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me. Paul Thomas Anderson likes me. My fans like me. 'Cause I'm the real article. What you see is what you get.
And here's the thing. He's right. He's 100% right. And the crazy part is that I don't know. I'm just all right. Let's talk about it. So on the Bret Easton Ellis podcast, a podcast that you can listen to, by the way, only through his Patreon. So instead of being like every other jamoke out there and just commenting on the first couple of things that you've seen or heard about this thing, and maybe some quotes that people have put out there and everything, as true as they are, you don't understand any of the context of it. You didn't listen to any of it. I did the homework for you. I spent the $6 and I subscribed to Bret Easton Ellis's Patreon here, at least to listen to these guys. The other stuff, man, maybe I'll go through and find something else interesting before the month's out or whatever. But for the sake of TikTok and everything, I think he found a spoon that he was eating on. Good job, bud. So I listened to the podcast. I listened to the podcast that he was talking about, and they're going through his top 10 movies of the 21st century. There, so the last little bit. And There Will Be Blood comes up, and he mentions that, listen, I'm the movie would be higher for me, except he's not a big Paul Dano fan. Doesn't like Paul Dano, doesn't like the choices that he makes or whatever. And listen, that's fine. Now, does he go a little bit harsh for a podcast and be like, listen, I'm not a big Paul Dano fan. Like, he should probably do something like that. He went a little tough. He went a little harsh, but he didn't go so harsh. He wasn't like spitting in his face. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't quite that bad. It was just kind of like I really don't like him. And like, it felt like he was almost to me. And I think this is part of it, right? Because I kind of had that first experience with Paul Dano as well in Little Miss Sunshine, right? And if you remember his role in that one, he's a guy who wanted to be a fighter pilot and everything, but it turns out that his eyes ain't no good. So if your eyes ain't no good, guess what? You're not going to be a pilot, certainly for the military. So he's super bummed about it and decides to be, a quiet little butthole for the entire thing. And you know what? He had that. It was just like, and he did a great job. He played that kind of teenager that you just wanted to smack the ever living piss out of, because it's called, listen, your life is not that bad. Everything is fine and okay. The one thing that you don't want to do, guess what? Everybody in life has that one thing that, they really love to do, but for whatever reason, they can't hoof it. It can't happen. And you know what we do? We all get the fuck over it, because that's what you're supposed to do as an adult. And that character can't do that. And he plays a lot. And like you said, he plays a lot of weak characters. He plays a lot of characters that, you might actually end up despising and stuff like that. His role in There Will Be Blood, very much an example of that. And, he says that, like, to a degree, I suppose he's right, is that Daniel Day-Lewis is running circles around him. And he is. Daniel Day-Lewis is kind of like commanding that entire movie and everything. But Paul Dano was really great. I will say this, the problem that I had with him in There Will Be Blood, I didn't realize we were playing two different characters for the good majority of it and stuff. And it was a little confusing and whatnot. And I felt like that was because it didn't differentiate those characters enough for me to have put that one together. What is he doing over there? Oh, I know what happened. I put it together now. I had some oatmeal. It was in this bowl. Like, I just wanted something as like a little quick treat or something like that. So I put like this little instant oatmeal in the bowl. And then as I was sitting in the chair and eating it, I think I put it on the ground, and then Buzz of the Clan here just goes like, guess what I found? It's mine now, bitches. Must find out Paul Dano is related to Mrs. King Royale Dano. I do not know. I'm not even sure who the hell that is. That's another Matt pull right there. All right. But yeah, so I understand him saying, like, listen, I want to play a little game right now, since we got a couple people in chat. I want to play a game called You Are Quentin Tarantino. And in this Quentin Tarantino game, you are going to tell me an actor that you hate. We've all got them. Who doesn't hate any particular actors? I know we all do. Tell me in the chat who your favorite actor to hate is. Who do you hate more than anything? Because you know what? Who else he kind of poops on in that movie or in that episode is Owen Wilson. He poops on Owen Wilson a good bit here and everything. And it's not terrible, It's just like, listen, but he even admits in Midnight in Paris, he was just like, oh, but you know what? I really like what he was doing in there. And the more times that he watched that movie, the more times that he ended up liking him. So I figure that's got to count for something, right? Okay, so I think I'll go first as to actors that like I could do without, that I just don't care for. I don't know what it is. He's not terrible in everything, but I can never stop looking at Scott Wolf's nose and going, well, what's going on here? Well, what is this? It's distracting from everything that you're doing. I don't care for it. I hate method actors. I've never seen There Will Be Blood because of Daniel Day-Lewis. I think there's also a lot that's overblown about him and the character acting and stuff that he does. I think a lot of people just go ahead and assume that there's like, weird levels of abuse and stuff that are going on. And it's mostly him just doing a fucking voice. It's mostly him just going like, hey, I just like, Abraham Lincoln kind of has this funny little thing here. I gotta continue to do this, otherwise I'm gonna slip out of it, and it's just not gonna be a thing. So I've got to go do like this, and maybe he asked people to call him Mr. President or some shit. I don't know. Listen, as long as he's still, not like burning shit down, I don't care. And if you don't like it, then don't work with the man. I mean, that's the crazy thing about so many, weird people in jobs and stuff like that, is the amount of people that just go like, well, I wouldn't do this. Well, then don't fucking work there. You know what I'm saying? That's what I never understood about the people that like want to unionize Starbucks or something like that. It's like, if they're not going to do it, and it's something that, just don't work there. Just go work someplace else. Life is so simple sometimes. It's called, you don't like the way things are rolling around here? Leave. Why would you continue to, be around the people that you believe hate you in one way, shape, or form? Seems a little bananas to me. All right, let me let's get into the next video here, because I'm sorry, one more thing. Oh, wait a minute. So he knows something. Also, Royal Dano was was in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Ghoulies 2, House 2, and Undead Cowboy, and Undead Cowboy Grandpa Jesse. Michael Cera, there you go. That is an understandable. That's an understandable get, right? If I could completely understand why Michael Cera could get on people's nerves. You know who sometimes also gets on my nerves? Not always, but a little bit, to what he ends up doing, is Jesse Eisenberg. I kind of have almost the same sort of Jesse Eisenberg sort of thing, where I think my biggest problem with Jesse Eisenberg is how he talks about like how everything is so, he's socially awkward and everything in this, like there's so much anxiety and stuff that are going on. And it's just like the way he talks, he would never be able to walk down these red carpets and do these interviews and stuff like that. So I find it all a little crass for him to just be going like, oh, I got all these problems. It's just like, no, you don't, dog. You're right there. You've got 1,000 cameras on you right now. If you were truly such a shy and demure person, there's no way in hell you would be like, well, I'm going to go walk out in front of 500 people while they all scream my name and flash photographs in my eyes. Shut up. Who else? Who's another good one? We'll think of some. If you can't, if you got an actor that you hate, drop them in the chat there. All right, let's go on. Let's move on. We got a lot to work with. All right, what's next?
This is part one of why I think the obsession of cinema etiquette has gone too far, and this is about kids and this concept that kids should be seen and not heard.
Oh boy. I'm excited about this one. Rarely do you ever hear it go in the other direction, right? You've got to be putting me on. She's going, listen, you guys are being too strict on kids. Are you ridiculous, man? How on earth are people being too strict with their rules at the movies? Are you insane, man? Let's play. Let's see what she's got. I'm ready to go. Hold on. John Cena. John Cena is the actor that she got for that. I can understand. That. I get that. Maybe now is it? I wonder if it's like one of the wrestler things. Like if he was always just, you'll always kind of see him as a wrestler sort of thing. Was The Rock the same way for you as well, or do you enjoy The Rock? That's something I'm curious about. All right. So this lady's talking about kids in movie theaters and how we ought to let them be. I think that's the angle she's going with. Let's see.
So what initially inspired me to make this was I watched a TikTok about this guy who.
And she's in Australia, so we already going to count a couple less minus points on account of Criminal Island and everything, right?
Went to see Wicked for Good, and he complained that there were kids there that were just like completely inappropriate, running up and down the aisles.
Yes. Valid complaint.
Lots of chatter, and he was like, "Why bring your kids if you can't control them?"
Yes, valid complaint. I got a story. We're gonna go on. We're gonna see what she's talking about. But I got a story. We're gonna see.
Now, I definitely do not endorse the running up and down the aisles, but I did put in the comments that I think it's okay that kids can make a bit of noise when I take my 2 young children to the cinema.
I mean, if they're farting, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing we can really do about that. But if they're having full ass conversations, guess what? We need to stop.
They ask me questions and I obviously tell them, shh, don't make too much noise. But I also think it's okay that if I go to a midday.
Does anyone think an Australian person knows how to whisper? Is that xenophobic? You ever heard an Australian whisper? I don't think it's possible. I just don't. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Find me an Australian whispering. You ever see Mel Gibson whisper in a movie? Never. Never happens because he doesn't do it. Australians cannot whisper. I'm positive of that.
Session of a film on a weekend, the only session that I can take young kids to, that yeah, there's going to be kids there, there's going to be a little bit of like extra noise, and I personally think that that's okay. And
now, okay, because now listen, Trillian in the chat here brings this up. He says the Draft House has kid, and I'm going to say this, there are most major chains have this. Most of them do. The Draft House has kids-friendly shows now. Lights are left on. Kids are allowed to make noise and run around. I think it's a pretty good idea. It is. And those are specifically there and fine for those events and everything. And if you purchase a ticket for that event, you understand that that's what's going on. And if your children are the children that need that kind of thing, that need that sort of outlet, that cannot sit down, you as a parent then should be obligated to bring your child to said screenings and not to screenings that are not, allocated for, such rambunctiousness. I'll be nice about it.
And of course, I got eaten alive in those comments by people saying that I don't have the correct cinema etiquette, and if I can't control my kids, why go to the movies?
Correct.
And that people shouldn't be disadvantaged because of children. Kids.
It's not. No one's being disadvantaged because of children. You're being disadvantaged because you're a crummy parent. That's what it is. And that's the worst part too, dude, is because I don't blame the kids, right? Because kids are going to be kids, but kids are also only as good as the, as the rearing that they got when they, going from birth until the point of, the trouble, right? The parents are responsible for that. So yeah, you're responsible for having, whatever your child is giving, whatever your child is putting back into the world, frankly, from birth to death, is a reflection on you as a parent in one way, shape, or form. Even if you did all the right stuff, maybe you didn't do all the right stuff. You did something wrong.
Kids are a member of the community, and how do we ever expect the next generation to embrace and enjoy films if we don't allow them to go to the cinemas?
No. When you went to the movies, even as a child, you were told how to behave in the movies. Now, you were allowed to laugh and giggle and all that kind of good stuff when Pee Wee Herman was doing the things that he was doing because they were funny, damn it. But you know what you didn't do? You didn't sit and yap and run up and down the things because you had what we call discipline back in the late 80s and early 90s. You got yelled at. You were told to get in line. You were told to do what you're supposed to do. And if you didn't, guess what? You got hit. And you know what? It's even crazier. Our parents were cool with it. They were just like, yeah, give them one for me. Save my shoulder a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And enjoy a movie and express themselves a little bit. Now, if you have a massive problem with this, I personally think go to any of the other sessions the rest of the week. Just don't hit up the cinemas on those midday sessions over the weekend. And another big part to this is that adults themselves have terrible cinema etiquette and will talk all the way through a movie. So if adults can't maintain this particular etiquette, then why are we expecting children to do it?
Okay. So how we solve this problem is feeding into it more. Sounds like a brilliant plan. Oh, we can't correct those behaviors because the behavior. I mean, because you get out of here, lady. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my entire life.
Ultimately, I don't want to be a nuisance at the cinemas. I want everyone to have a good.
Yes, no. You don't want to be, but you don't care if you are. That's the difference. The problem is you don't care that you are. You don't want to be, but you are, and you don't care that you are. That's your problem.
Time. So yeah, obviously I think, there is a line here. If your kids are misbehaving too much, you should be leaving.
Or at all. That's what our parents used to do. They used to threaten to leave. Hey, we're going to go home. We're going to get out of here. What are you talking about? Like, no, and because you knew if you had it happen to you once or twice before, you knew what was going on. So you knew, hey, guess what? Mom and dad are for real. They're going to kick us out of here. We're going to go. So, come on.
But I also think that all the viewers at the cinema should also respect the fact that children are allowed to be there. And if you go to a midday session...
To what degree? What do you mean allowed to be there? No one's saying they're not allowed to be there, especially like during your kind of midday screenings and stuff like that. Because they're allowed to be there is fine. But if you cannot control them, as also if you could not control yourself, you should be expected to be ejected from the theater. Control yourself.
There's going to be a bit of chatter.
No, again, no one's saying the kids, and let's just whisper to each other or something like that. But people don't know how to do that, man. People have full ass conversations in theaters, right? I forget what movie it was, but I know I remember seeing it in Florida. And it was me and two old ladies in the movie. They sat exactly in the same row that I did, but just kind of like further on down to the left, whereas I was like more in the center. And they were just talking. During the movie, they were just talking like it was their living room, dude. And I gave them a shush. Not, and they kind of like, for a second. Then they kept just a regular, like, you know what I'm thinking? This, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Like at that level, while the movie is going on. And because I gave a couple, a little bit of these and that, nothing was catching on. So I stood up. I walked over to their to their chairs there and everything. We'll say it's 6 to 8 chairs down. I looked them right in the face and I said, "You are not at home. Be quiet." Then I walked back to my chair. I sat down and I watched the rest of the movie. And you know what happened? They didn't say a word. Not a peep. As a matter of fact, by the end of the movie, as the credits were rolling, I'm sitting and watching the credits. They're to the left of me. They decide to exit to the row to the left and then walk around. And I was like right in front of little metal barriers there and everything that kind of separate the front half from the middle half. So they walk in front of me and they look at me and they apologize and go, "We're so sorry for being loud." And I was like, "Hey, appreciate it. Thank you." People are terrible. If you bring kids up to be little shitheads, I don't care where it's at. If you bring up kids to be shitheads, they're going to be shitheads forever. And then those shithead kids become shithead adults. And they become the people that are consistently ruining your lives. They're the people that are driving in the left lane all the time. Those are the people.
How old?
Give people hamburgers at movies, not popcorn. It's an interesting ploy here. Younger millennials act like they remember life before the internet.
Are you Chief of Staff Sinclair?
I'm 33.
Well, Mr. Sinclair, you've probably got no fucking idea what I'm talking about.
You got that right, boy. I hate when young millennials go on this just like, "Oh, yeah, we know about," like, bitch, what you don't know about nothing. You don't know about nothing. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You don't even remember the days when you had to go to the library to get on the internet, man. What the fuck is going on over here? He's like, I'm eating out of your bowls, Daddy. It's funny. Damn Americans is right. We're the best and we know it. I want to talk about this for half a second. Just because, you brought it up. It's on you at this point. I saw a cat on TikTok. He's got like a pizza that he made, like a frozen pizza. All right. And he goes, oh, it looks like just a regular pizza, right? It's fine. Everything's good about it. Look, but right underneath, he pulls it up, and I shit you not, baked beans and cheddar cheese under the pizza, under it, not on top where all the toppings and stuff are, but underneath, like it's like he put a pool of it on the plate and then plopped the pizza on top of that. You guys are mad.
Let's go again. Here is another 1 second clip. You have to guess the movie. Here's the clue.
Name the movie from a 1 second clip. Well, I hate to tell you, boys and girls, but your man's a pretty decent at this kind of stuff right here. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Or I'm going to look stupid and everybody's going to be like, we knew he was a dumbass.
This movie came out in 1987. It featured.
Okay, 1987. I want to see if I can figure it out even before we get to the 1 second. You know what I'm saying?
Featured future television stars, past television stars, wrestlers, future.
Cannonball Run.
Huge box office draws. Lots of great people were in this movie, but
so not Cannonball Run. Come and get yours, Cannonball Run.
It wasn't a big box office draw. It is a fantasy movie from
so not all right.
From a 1970s novel of the same name. And can you name the movie from this 1 second clip? And go.
The Prince.
Oh, come on. Get out of here. You got to stink if you can't come up with The Princess Bride in half a second with this one. Come on. Difficulty level hard. Hard? Show something difficult. Oh, my word.
His bride.
So simple. Oh, man. Shows you I don't watch these things, dude, because I would not have included that because that's just fucking lame. Oh, that was so easy. Get out of here, dog. What's next?
There are some scenes in this movie.
Oh, all right. So in the Hollywood, or excuse me, in the Christmas spirit of everything, I was flipping through TikTok and we see the Gremlins review from 1984. Now we are going to be reviewing Gremlins on Half-Ass Movie Podcast in 2 weeks' time. In the same week that Christmas comes out, we'll be reviewing Gremlins from 1984. So we hope you stop by and listen to that on the main podcast. That podcast streams live on YouTube right here every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hang out in the chat, be a dirty baby, and all things like that. But let's hear what Siskel and Ebert had to say about Gremlins in 1994. We're going to stop it as much as we possibly can to avoid any kind of copyright claims. And let's go.
Where it really gets kind of gruesome, especially when that gremlin explodes inside the microwave oven.
Roger begins with what I think is one of the nice surprises of the summer movie season, Gremlins.
Now, if there's anybody that I figure might not like Gremlins, it's going to be Gene Siskel, right? You figure Ebert's probably going to like it. I think that's how the majority of folks out there probably felt. I think the majority of your everymans and whatnot usually tended to go with Roger. And I think if you considered yourself more of a high-minded intellectual, you probably tended to find yourself agreeing more with Gene. Tell me if you guys think that assumption is incorrect.
You know, there are three things that everybody should really know about a gremlin. First of all, they don't like bright lights. Secondly, if they get wet, they reproduce like rabbits. And third, you should never...
Boy, if rabbits are popping out babies from their backs, that's bad news.
...ever feed a gremlin after midnight. And if you stop...
Feed him after midnight. How come Judas Priest didn't get in on that shit? Can you explain that to me? Where's the logic? I don't see it.
...to think about it, of course, it's always after midnight. And while they were telling me
after midnight
about those three rules at the beginning of Gremlins, I felt a real sense of delight because I knew that all three of those rules were inevitably going to be broken right away.
Yeah, right. It's so great. There's like, here's the setup, and if you don't think that we're going to knock those pins down immediately, you're dead wrong.
And it was going to be fun to see them broken. That kind of storytelling magic is at the heart of Gremlins, which tells
it's very Spielbergy.
a simple story about a man who, in this scene, visits a mysterious shop in Chinatown to buy a Christmas present for his...
From a character that is Shirley is fine as everything. It's okay. I still enjoy the Simpsons monkey paw episode there with the yogurt versus Frogurt exchange. It's got monosodium glutamate in it. That's bad. Can I go now?
son.
What is that?
But he does buy that gremlin and takes the furry little beast home as a present.
Can I tell you something? Like, so I really think I mean, obviously the animatronics and everything, and we'll talk about this in the podcast proper, but the animatronics and everything are amazing. Puppets were great. I feel like they're talking about doing another Gremlins movie, and I feel like CGI will absolutely destroy that and make it terrible. Unless they're saying Joe Dante's going to do it, and I'm just like, are you sure? I don't know where I was going with that.
And of course, that's about all you're going to see of Gremlins on television.
What I meant to say is the animatronics, very good. The puppets, all that kind of good stuff. Very, very good. Howie Mandel, though. I think Howie Mandel is the unsung hero of Gremlins. Because I think if that voice isn't cute and interesting, it could really all fall apart. If Gizmo's got like a crappy voice to him, I don't know about that.
Remember with E.T. how Spielberg only let you see the little finger going around the corner of the woodshed there, and with Gremlins, that's all you see. And of course, there's another kind of gremlin too that has claws instead of furry little paws. That comes later.
No, come on, Gene Roger. Come on, Roger. You're mixing up your Gremlin v Mogwai. All right, Mogwais are good ones. Gremlins are bad ones.
In the movie, I guess it goes without saying that Gremlins started out at least as cute little beasties. After all, this movie was produced by Steven Spielberg, the man who invented E.T. But Gremlins can also be very mean, especially when they're fed after midnight. And this movie,
feed them after midnight. Sorry,
is not the same sort of heartwarming, cheerful fable that E.T. was. It has a dark...
No, it is not. Yeah, if E.T.'s from the San Fernando Valley, Gremlins is from the hood.
Darker sense of humor. There are some scenes in this movie where it really gets kind of gruesome, especially when that gremlin explodes inside the microwave oven. And although we accept that E.T. is a real plausible creature, Gremlins, I think, are basically just magical little story gimmicks designed to inspire a lot of action. Gremlins is a wicked and funny movie, sort of a satire on all those grade B thrillers about monsters that attack small towns. And from that point of view, I liked it. I liked the fact that they were trying to do something more than just make another cute little animal movie.
Yes, I liked it too. Maybe I have a little sick sense of humor. Maybe I know.
That's some kind of admission there, whether he'll admit to it or not.
Oh, I do.
I do too, right.
Okay, and I like that part of it. It's not a namby-pamby little film, and parents should know that. But I enjoyed it because it really is walking between two kinds of pictures, and I think it pulls it off. It's walking between the sweet little innocent Christmas fable, and it's also a flat-out horror film with the bad gremlins who are going to devour that.
Yeah, like that's it. Like Gremlins is a horror movie if you think about it. Come on, now.
Town that the little boy lives in, and I thought the director Joe Dante really did a nice job moving between those two kinds of stories. So I bought the whole thing.
I'll tell you what. In a way, this is a haunted movie, and what it is haunting is the whole tradition of Norman Rockwell Christmas American Hollywood movies.
Right.
The first shot in the movie practically is that town that's obviously an artificial, all the little lights glimmering just like at the beginning of a Disney picture. And before long, everything that can go wrong on Christmas Eve in this sweet little town is going to go wrong, and the whole place is going to be up for grabs. And that
isn't that kind of like Joe Dante's like MO in movies, if you're honest.
kind of satire was really interesting in this film.
It's like a Norman Rockwell painting, well, only there's blood on the turkey, that kind of thing. Okay.
We both enjoyed Gremlins, the story of a cute little pet with a split personality.
How about that?
So the one we're really recommending is Gremlins and then Star Trek. That's it.
The most recommended movie of the week, Gremlins. Not too shabby. 2 thumbs up. Listen, in our month of
So
is
this
it
week, coming up next week at the movies, more big summertime films, including the comedy Ghostbusters with Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis working as evil spirit destroyers in New York City. Also, the latest breakdancing movie, Beat Street, featuring dancing and music and graffiti art from the South Bronx of New York. 2 New York pictures, and until then, we'll see you
at the movies. Man, classic Siskel and Ebert. What a great time that we lived in, to where, you know, you didn't have to follow, you know, 8 billion influencers. You just listened to these 2 old white dudes, and you know what? Most of the time they were right about the things they were right about. All right, that was me, not you. What's next?
Okay, it's time to practice your ABCs.
POV, your mom is a movie buff.
First, we have A as in Anaconda, starring Jennifer Lopez and
I stopped the second she just goes, "Oh, this is your ABCs." I was like, I had no clue what she's gonna do. I thought she was gonna be like A24. That's where I thought she was going, but no. She goes straight to Anaconda, starring Jennifer Lopez.
Ice Cube. They always get wee big snake. Next, we have B as in Black Swan. Ooh,
Yay! This child's being brought up well.
But I know you love Darren Aronofsky.
I know you love Darren Aronofsky, so you're gonna be really cool with this. Since you've been following Aronofsky's career for as long as you have and everything, when you get to this point right here, you're gonna dig it the most. All right.
Wait, this is how teacher Gary for me.
No, I thought he was gonna say, like, this isn't the 4K. What is this shit?
Okay, next up we have C as in coffee and cigarettes.
Because everything a 3-year-old likes is Jim Jarmusch movies. That's for damn sure.
Classic Jim Jarmusch.
That kid's gonna grow up being really developed, as it were. It's a nice way of saying it. Look at the chat here. Most of the time, Gene was the more reactionary of the two, and they both had moments of not considering the film's content beyond one element that set them off. You were absolutely correct on that. That is 100% true. Put a child in danger, and you're guaranteed that Gene will hate the movie. Nobody can besmirch my Mogwai impression, by the way. Oh, sure. It's all wigga, 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 bugga, booga, bugga, booga. They spent the last 5 years comparing just about very fantasy movie into. Okay, I see what you're saying. I just don't have the ability to, what's it called, read.
And this little piggy had none. And
POV, John, you're John Connor's baby.
And this little piggy went, come on, all the way home. This humidifier, it's on full blast. It's gonna blow him away. Whoa, you're starting to look like me. Yes, cool.
Yeah,
my own baby. Listen, I know you like playing with this, but it can't be trusted. Look, your grandpa gave you this from the future. You can call him Wolfie. Big shit.
Wolfie, get out of here.
Did you cover moi with a big shit? Wait a second.
Like, let's go back in time and have John Connor teenage parent. Ooh. He would be the worst parent ever. And especially after, being raised by such a great parent himself, I'm sure that would go swimmingly.
You're 6 months old today. We gotta start solids right now! You want another pouch? Last one! That's my mom! And your grandma! Shh! Grandma! The monitor. It's aware.
Oh, scary.
High five! Up top! Down low! Too slow.
Dawn, did you vacuum the baby's room?
Time for your nap. Hasta la vista, baby.
Should have known that was coming somewhere. Why I didn't see it coming? Knock me down with a feather with surprise. What's next?
Me staring at bro because I didn't hear what Jigsaw said and the timer just started.
Oh, go ahead.
Honestly, 90% of the time, I wouldn't care what Jigsaw said or didn't say. I'm not participating. I think this guy's biggest downfall as a professional torturer is he's just not that good at creating the illusion of a chance at winning. If you want me to participate...
Well, no, that's right. He never wanted you to win. That wasn't the point of winning. Either way, if you accomplish or don't accomplish something, it's bad news bears for you. At the end of the day, if Jigsaw got you, something bad gonna happen. You can participate, you cannot participate. Either way, you're either going to be dead or disfigured and want to be dead. So, is what it is.
In this barbaric, gruesome game of your own devising against...
You might the guys that might have seen this guy on TikTok. He's usually like screaming about people's food and what is demonology. People in their demon food, like the British pizza with the beans and cheese that we were talking about earlier. That's what he would do. So, look! Oh, why would you do that?
Another random civilian. You're gonna have to give me enough incentive where I feel like I have a chance to leave this platform, to leave this dungeon relatively unharmed.
Nope. That's his whole point. Is called you're gonna be harmed no matter what. But in Jigsaw fashion, you get to at least choose which way you'll be harmed.
What do you mean the game is who can cut their hand off the fastest? I'm going to die from the blood loss regardless. I'd rather just sit here and wait to be
that's when you got to listen to the old Jigsaw ways and learn how to cauterize that one once you've done chopped your hand off and everything, Then you got to find that furnace. It's all super hot. Take your stump. That's the only way to keep yourself alive. Come on.
Executed. Why would I sit here and maim myself just to bleed out? I'm not even sure you're going to let me go after this. I would need...
That's a good point.
Immediate medical attention. Get somebody else to do it. I can't even apply a makeshift tourniquet. You've crippled me. I only have one hand, so I'm doomed regardless. Why would I...
Well, sometimes they give you a buddy in Saw. You know how it is.
Play the game. No, you need to go back to the drawing board and at least ensure that I feel like I have a chance to win, or I'm not doing it. Can I at least see some medical staff, some medical personnel? No? Only you coming in and out on that staticky television? I'm straight.
A 20-year-old television show.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. And we'll see more from Marco later with some more Jigsaw stuff, so fear not on that one. But we got old Vsauce here talking about television shows and movies and the looks of them and stuff like that. Let's pay attention.
Looked like it was 20 years old. The fashion, the grain of the film it was shot on, like all these things were really different. But today, a 20-year-old show from like 2005, that's like The Office.
Mm-hmm.
It's like may as well have been made yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it looks the same. Digital stuff looks the same as it did, 25 years ago or whatever, 20 years ago. It looks the same. It's not monotone. That's not the word I'm looking for. I don't know. I'll come up with it.
I'm watching a lot of Gilmore Girls right now.
Hey, stop bragging, all right? Jeez.
Forget that show is as old as it is.
Yeah.
But you could not watch a show in the 90s and forget that it was as old as it was. So what's going on?
There's a patina. Especially, and there's a look of film, and like film is this magical entity when you kind of think about it. It's a combination of like science and luck and chemistry and just it's magic. It's magic as far as I'm concerned, because you point this thing, light goes into this emulsion that's on this thing, and it's higher definition than anything out there. It's unbelievable. And yet it still can look absolutely crappy if you don't know what you're doing. It's kind of amazing that, like, as many movies came out looking as good as they did over the years. Because again, even once you've shot it and everything and you think that you've done everything correct, now you gotta develop it, and you gotta hope you developed it right. Can you imagine blowing up something, for some big stunts or whatever, and then you were like, well, the shot didn't come out. We have to do it again. We have to do all of it again. But instead of doing it all again on the same day, you got to go back out and, get the stuff again, and then go through that whole process until you eventually get it. Nobody wants that. It's too much.
Why we also just have way more remixes and reboots than ever before. I mean, that's not even an opinion. That's just like very true.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people like to try to pinpoint one cause, whether it's capitalism or some other big ism. But as I looked into this,
gigantism. It could be.
Really hardcore. I'm like, man, there are 18,000 reasons for this feeling. And obviously Mark Fisher is one of the biggest philosophers who's investigated this with the idea of hauntology.
Never heard of it.
You should.
Well, that's where you kung fu somebody in the face.
You should look up some of his lectures and speeches he's given. But then his book, Mark Fisher's Ghosts of My Life, really goes into this. He kind of frames it as saying that the future has been stolen from us. That there was a time when the future was like this brand new thing, and in the future, guns are going to go pew pew.
They just go boom boom.
Guns in the future still go pew pew. They haven't changed. The future isn't changing like it did.
Is that what you want? You want guns to sound like Careless Whisper?
100 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, intuitively, and I haven't read about this at all, but I've got sort of two suggestions here, right? One is pessimism. One is that if you ask someone in the 1950s to draw the future, they would draw silver cars flying through the sky. And if you ask someone to draw the future now, they show nuclear wastelands or environmental catastrophe.
You negative Nancy's.
Like guns in the future will actually be, people throwing sticks at each other because the whole world will be destroyed. Right? They don't go pew pew, they go.
Yeah.
See, when you get the TikToks and you don't watch them, you don't know what you're missing sometimes, because they'll just throw some shit in there. Wasn't it
Jordan Peele versus
horror director bracket? Jordan Peele versus Michael. What's his name? What's it? Shaves. I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Versus Michael Chavez, and this might actually be a tough.
Chavez. Well, I only know Jordan Peele, so I'm going to say him.
Tough one. Jordan Peele made Get Out.
Why are we always doing these weird voices and think that this is how people are supposed to be talking on the internet? Do we not realize that this sounds like autism incarnate here, okay? This is how you tell us that you are on the spectrum. Ugh.
Us and Nope. That's a great run. Now, Michael Chavez did The Curse of La Llorona.
Boo! Piece of shit. Not a scary thing in that movie. Suck it, La Llorona. Terrible.
The Conjuring 3, The Devil.
Conjuring 3? What the fuck are you on, son? Conjuring 1, sure. Conjuring 2, no. I didn't see Conjuring 3, but ain't no way. Ain't no way, homie.
Made me do it. The Nun 2.
No! The first Nun sucked. The second Nun sucked. If there was another Nun movie that I saw after that, I'd have been jumping out of a window. But no. No.
And The Conjuring: Last Rites. Can I be totally honest? I think I might have them at a tie.
I feel like is this a bit? Is this a bit? I hope it's a bit. Gotta hope it's a bit.
Don't get me wrong, in the auteur horror space, I really like what Jordan Peele's doing. But here's the thing, Michael Chavez made 4 movies, including box office smash hit The Conjuring: The Last Rites.
This is This is definitely satire.
Now, if we're just looking at a box office perspective,
what is the fucking edit to? Voof. Stop it.
I might actually have to give it to Michael Chavez. You're open to your opinion, but come on, man, don't give me that. Dude, come on. Come on, man.
I don't know. We've been doing our podcast for 11 years, and many of you have been there for many of those years. And I beg of you, if you ever see us starting to devolve into something like that, let us know. Just tell us. We don't want things to suck. That's why we got you guys. Don't just, come on. Help us out. What's next?
I gotta say, as a black cinephile, it really does get weird when I hang around white film bros because they treat that like it's canon. Like,
what is that? Okay, all right, let's see.
They expect us to know Martin Scorsese, Stanley Kubrick, Quentin Tarantino, Christopher Nolan, the Coen brothers.
Those are big time filmmakers. So, I mean, if you're a cinephile of any kind, I would hope that you would know those people. Okay.
Like it's required reading. But when I start,
yeah. When it comes to Hollywood, I mean, a thing that's only been around for like 100 years as far as film goes. Yeah, there's going to be requirements, and those are, yeah. What are you talking about?
Ask them about black cinema. They treat that like it's a optional elective.
Well, it's a smaller one to be sure. Does that mean that it's any less important? No. But it is a smaller part of the curriculum, right? So if you look at black-led films, be it, from an acting standpoint, certainly from directing standpoints and stuff like that, you're going to find fewer and far between. Now, should it be, more? Sure, why not? I mean, anybody can make anything that they want to. But yeah, it's going to be lesser because there are lesser instances of it. It doesn't make it racist per se.
Like they don't know Julie Dash. They don't know Charles Burt.
He says Julie Dash. It just reminds me of Adam Carolla has said that like the reason that he can't get his movies. It's a joke, but that he can't get his movies into like Sundance and stuff like that is just because his name is Adam Carolla and people kind of know who that is and everything. But he said if he changed his name to Jules Dash, he would absolutely be let into, all the awards and stuff like that because Jules Dash is like, it's a powerful name there and everything. You're not sure if it's a guy or a girl. So like, you're like, listen, Jules Dash is on this one, but get him in there.
They don't know Robert Townsend. They don't know Cassie Lemons.
Who don't know Robert Townsend?
And it's weird because
But here's the thing, like how many, not for nothing. I'm going to look it up right now. Robert Townsend. All right. Now, first and foremost, how many things do you think that he's directed? It's 49, by the way. Yeah, that's a lot. Well, he's directed a whole bunch of episodes of Power recently, so that's good. Looks like he's he's delved way. Here's the thing, though. Like right now, I'm gonna tell you this right now, my man. I'm gonna look. Hold on. I'm gonna let you guys see. All right. So here's Robert Townsend's filmography. These days, he's been doing way more TV. And I like Robert Townsend, don't get me wrong, but like, look, TV. As far as directing and stuff goes, we got Hollywood Shuffle, Raw, good. Everybody loves those. Got a Robert Townsend and his partner in crime TV movie. Stevie Wonder, My Eyes Don't Cry, music video, a TV special. The 5 Heartbeats. That's good. Meteor Man. We all love Meteor Man. If you don't love Meteor Man, something's wrong with you. Baps. Again, this is when Robert Townsend was like really, really banging it, right? And then he did 17 episodes of Parenthood television series there. Look at that. How about that? Up and away. Like, let's see, TV. And like, frankly, I think that's why we don't think of Robert Townsend as a big time director like that, because that's not really what he does.
Effort to know both worlds, while they rarely make the effort to cross the bridge to get to know ours.
No, listen, I agree with you with that. To you, I say, do you know who D'Urville Martin is? How about that? I noticed that you didn't mention Melvin Van Peebles. You know, like we can all play this game to where we're naming, artists other people haven't named and shit. So like, I mean, I feel like this is just a dick measuring contest.
If we keep
and a little bit of a pointing a finger at somebody just going, you don't know all these things, you're racist. I don't know a lot of things about, England, but that don't make me, Anglophobic or something.
A buck, black cinema in reality interrogates America, class, violence, family, intimacy.
And you didn't mention Tyler Perry, who does all of those things for sure, right?
In more nuanced and honest ways.
Child, come on now. You can't. Surely you can't, my friend. Come on now. I don't know about all of that. I don't know about a more nuanced. Let's come on, nuance
for the last decade or two than white cinema has. I feel like a lot of it
with nuance. Okay, it was Crash nuance. I mean, I know that was white people, but my God,
it has to do with who gets framed as universal, because white directors get positioned as this is just film, and then black directors get positioned as this is a black film.
That's, again, Morgan Freeman himself talked about that. It's called Just Stop Calling Me a Black Man. Just call me a man. He said it. He said it to old was it Mike Wallace or some shit, where he's just like, stop talking about it. Stop talking about it.
And I feel like that small language difference creates the whole problem, because on one side, this is human, and the other side, it's identity based. But that's just my 2 cents, though.
2 cents make a dollar. I don't know what that means. Protecting the neighborhood while staying low to the ground. I don't know what that was in reference to. Oh yeah. That was to Meteor Man. This is why I got you into Zatoichi Kon, Adam. He made movies before he died, and they were all very influential. Darren Aronofsky borrowed heavily from Perfect Blue, 1997, for Black Swan. Fair enough. What's next? Criterion Collection. For you, yeah? Sounds like you're a boring person. I'm gonna watch House. Nope, you need to watch House instead. That's gonna be way more fun.
I just watched one battle after another with Leo de Can't Date Girls His Own Age.
Oh boy. Let me tell you something right now. I feel like I know exactly how this review is going to go based on what we just heard and the aesthetic here. Please, man, not enough facial accessories to go on with you, buddy. I think we need more. You are limiting yourself. Just a septum and the left nostril, not enough for you, my friend. We need more.
And it was good. It was a good movie.
There you go. Not surprised. It's a positive review from him. I feel like there's more behind this, though.
But near the ending, not really spoilers, but near the ending, it is just really, I found it funny that like the car chase scene, it's just like 10 straight minutes of stock footage of 3 cars going down a straight road, and it just lasts for, I swear, at least 10 minutes.
Sounds like a great review. Doesn't that make you want to watch it? Doesn't that get you excited?
Oh, bro, I know. Like, Hamnet was so good. It was.
When When you're the blockbuster guy in a cinephile friend group. Okay, there we go. I got the words out.
So good.
Did you guys see Superman? No, I didn't see Superman. I don't know what this guy's trying. Oh no, it's all right. It was. I didn't even like it either.
Hey, listen. I run with some movie people, as you might imagine, and we used to do a thing where we would go to the only video store in Charlotte, visit our video, and we'd have our VHS potluck, where everybody would bring a VHS from a movie that they had not seen before. We all put them in the pile. If anyone had seen any movie that was in the pile, it got taken out of the pile. And then once we looked at the entire pile, everybody voted on what they wanted to watch, and whatever won. And that was it. You just did it. You were finished at that point. And we watched those movies, and we'd do a double feature of them. Then after that, we'd go down to the bar and we'd talk about movies and all the other kind of shit. And here's the thing, though, as nerdy and things as we all were, you could never not bring up, like mainstream stuff. Every now and then you could, some of us would be like, I ain't seen that or whatever. But, no one ever pooped on you for seeing a movie. It was always just kind of like, hey, you saw a movie that I didn't, so I can at least listen to your judgment on that movie.
But I don't need is an advert for the cinema I'm already in. You're preaching the choir.
This is a big one. Now, I took this from someone else's account who took this from, who screen capped it, I suppose, because he doesn't allow you to download his stuff because I guess he doesn't want to be in TikTok Trash Tuesday. Where everybody goes for the latest in TikTok trash movies news. Like and subscribe. Hit the hype button. If you don't do it now, you'll regret it. I promise you. Let's get into it.
When they say come to the big screen, I'm fucking here. Tell the people out.
So the whole crux of this is that and I agree. As someone who just went to the movie theater and saw Kill Bill at an AMC, and I ain't been to an AMC in a minute. The advertisements for AMC alone are like 4 minutes. And again, you're right. We're already here. You don't need to tell us about how the amazing the movies are. Play those fucking commercials on television.
Decide to come to the big screen. Put the fucking film on. Don't show me a second advert for the cinema. That's a very good point.
And I don't like how they're like slipping in ads in between trailers and stuff like that too, which is abhorrent. I don't like that.
Does feel redundant once you're already there. And Wright said he'd be happy with 15 minutes of trailers at most, but that's it. Look,
and that's it. No advertising. Stop the advertising. The trailers are the advertisements, dummies.
I don't think he's wrong about all this. The pre-shows at the major chains have gotten long, but that's revealing a bigger.
Well, it looks like they dumped out. Star Wars Cantina scene. If the band was the Voodoo Glow Skulls. Let me tell you something. I have seen the Voodoo Glow Skulls live, and it is like having a panic attack. It's so good. They're like, honestly, I can't really sit and listen to them on records and stuff because it's just so frenetic and all over the place and whatnot. But man, oh man, when you are at a live show and there's a whole bunch of people around, ain't nothing funner than a big old Voodoo Glow Skulls pit.
We don't serve.
What?
Troy.
All right. I think we have to dump the video and put it in again here because it's getting that little kind of wacky little, what do you call it? Stutter. All right, here we go.
We don't serve.
What?
Troy, they'll have to wait outside. We don't want them here.
Thoughts on the original theatrical Star Wars returning to cinema in 2027? I'll believe it when I see it. We've heard tale of all kinds of crazy things happening for so long at this point. My hopes have been raised and lowered and dashed so many times that at this point I'm just called, I'll believe it when the picture rolls. The untouched versions, you say, please don't tease me. I can't do it. I can't hold out for hope. And that also, I think, is going to let you know that they are absolutely out of just like, listen, man, we're so desperate at this point, we'll give you the original trilogy. That's bananas.
Yeah, by the speed, we don't want to be in trouble. I positively agree with you, sir.
I'd be watching that Star Wars so much more. Day 2 of being the most uncooperative Saw participant ever.
You're awake.
Where am I?
You're in a dirty, musty bathroom underground. Do your eyes not work? He must have did your surgery wrong. You'll never get your key now.
Surgery?
You know what? Don't even worry about the eye key. Look at your leg. You're standing in a bear trap. Don't move. Because once you move your leg off that pressure plate, it's going to activate the bear trap for us both, and then the jaws are going to close around our legs.
What? How convoluted?
Yeah, and then we'll have...
Well, listen, it would be fun if it wasn't convoluted, right?
So race to the opposite end of the room. Whoever gets there first gets to push a button and allegedly gets a key to release the jaw thing from their leg, and the other one gets their leg ripped off.
Oh, so I guess we'll start competing now?
No, we're not going to participate. I mean, look at them. They're rusty. Once the jaws close in and grabs that leg, you're guaranteed to die of an infection, you know? So let's just not do it. Honestly, I think he only brought you here to galvanize me into participating. I haven't been cooperating all day. I've been here since yesterday.
Oh, okay, so I guess we won't.
Yeah, so we're just not gonna do it. Anyway, let me let him know. Jigsaw?
I mean, is that an option? Just not do it, I guess?
Jigsaw!
Oh, yes.
oh, yes, huh? What do you want? I'm sorry, I wasn't quite paying attention.
Yes.
Were you asleep?
No, not at all.
It's like 6...
That is kind of like, spoiler alert for Saw, which is like, 25 years old at this point. The most rad part about that is he's on the ground the whole time. That was dope. That was dope.
PM, were you asleep?
No, I wasn't. Stop saying that.
Are you an old man?
What's wrong with you? I'm not an old man. People fall asleep early all the...
Are you a frail old man dying of a turn?
Man, he's been dying of cancer since number 2, bro. And I think he's been dead since 3.
Terminal illness?
All you do is make stuff up all day. That's all you do.
Because you know
make
what we
stuff
do,
up and demand insurance.
If we found out you were an old, frail man.
No, I'm only 28 years old.
I'm only 28 years old.
And I'm 7 feet tall and virile and fertile and...
Definitely not an option. Jigsaw Traps makes certain that you have to do something. It's true. It's like you will either do this or this will happen. And the thing that you have to do is terrible, but the thing that will happen to you if you don't do that is also, some might say, equally or worse terror.
On Bret Easton Ellis's podcast, Quentin Tarantino revealed his favorite movies and his least favorite actors.
He dogged some people out.
Yeah.
Dogged some people out. He said, there will be blood with stand a good chance of being number 1 or 2 if it didn't have a big giant flaw in it. And
You know who he mentioned? No one talks about this. Who he mentioned would be better in the Paul Dano role? I don't know if I agree with it. He said Austin Butler would have been better. I don't know about all of that.
The flaw is Paul Dano. He's like real cool, man. He's like Paul Dano's he's like that cool, man.
He goes a little bit of
Dano is weak sauce, man. He is the weak sister.
Wow. That's pretty rough to say about Paul Dano.
I like Paul Dano. And then Owen Wilson.
I kind of agree
Look, guys, I'm sorry. I just can't, he doesn't like me, and it's fine.
with that. I don't like
Really? I love Owen Wilson.
He's just
You know what he's thinking here?
What?
What did I ever do to Quentin Tarantino?
I never
What's he
did
ever
that
done with his
too.
life?
I don't know. I like Owen Wilson.
That seems really mean. I don't like it. And I hope you don't like it either.
Wilson's brother better.
Luke?
Yeah, Luke's better.
But Owen's the writer. Like, Owen wrote Bottle Rocket. Like, Owen's done some stuff.
Yeah, he's talented, I guess.
Yeah,
He's
sometimes
creative,
right
I
on
mean, but
paper.
I'm not a big fan of his acting.
What the hell will I ever do to Quentin Tarantino, man? What's his problem?
But it is random for Tarantino to call him out in a random podcast.
I love Pulp Fiction. What I do? Glorious Bastards? Man, what I ever do to Quentin Tarantino?
Oh, and I will say this. Paul Dano was asked about it, and Paul Dano, what a champ. What a champ. Took the highest of roads. I don't know if I would like to think that I would be as gracious a person as Paul Dano was when asked about it. I don't think I would be, but I'd like to think that I would be. So when essentially asked about it, Paul Dano was like, hey, man, not everybody's going to be everybody's cup of tea. And that's kind of, it is what it is. It's perfectly fine. And I like, he just took the high road. He's like, listen, it's not that big a deal to me. It's fine. I'm like, that's a sign of a true gentleman right there. It just goes like, hey, talk trash about me. I'm going to take the high road. Just be like, hey, I'm not for everybody. And that's fine. Cool guy, Paul Dano. What's next?
I want to talk about the man, the myth, the legend that is John Hughes.
Yeah.
Home Alone. I figure we're getting this to some Christmas time here. Let's hear about some Home Alone, huh?
Who is the writer of this movie. And this is one of those things.
The guy who wrote the 90s and the 80s.
He wrote
Just all of
everything.
it.
No,
he
again, like
didn't write that
you
much.
think of John Hughes, you
That's
think
one
about
of those things is everybody goes like, oh, John Hughes did so much. It's like, he really didn't. Like, he had, like, it's a handful of stuff. Don't get me wrong. And it's impactful stuff, but like, there's not a ton of it. Everybody's like, oh, so much. Not really.
the Brat Pack era 80s movies. 16 Candles,
Yeah, all
and
those
The Breakfast
good ones,
Club.
classics.
And then as you get older and you start to realize, oh, those were his written and directed. When you find out that he wrote so many movies in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like,
and a lot of them were Christmas movies.
Well,
all you gotta do is a little bit of cocaine, baby. All of a sudden, your workflow just starts going up.
He's just done a lot of holiday movies. So
holidays,
it's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That's Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna forget all of them.
Well, you got to one, man. You just ran into a peanut situation, didn't you? Little Christopher Guest. Man, there's all kinds of nuts out there. You got peanuts and cashew nuts. Pistachio nuts.
Christmas Vacation. This Dutch, which we've covered. But yeah, this he on his writing notes, he also did Baby's Day Out. Like, I mean, he's done.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, so shit too, huh?
He's done a lot of interesting things throughout his whole career. And so my advice is, if you thought that you only knew John Hughes from the 80s, look him up.
No, he kept going.
Look him up, and you're going to realize just how much you were wrong.
If you think you only know John Hughes from the 80s, why don't you look him up right now and find out what he's doing in his basement? Oh, wait, he's dead.
I want him brought right here with a big ribbon on his head, and I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, badass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is! Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
The first time I saw this, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. The more I watch it, the more I'm disappointed with it. I sent it to my father, knowing that this would be the thing that would brighten his day the most, and it most assuredly did. So much so that he then called me directly after him giving that, just to like laugh on the phone with me at it and everything. So I thought that was fun. But as interesting and as much as I would like to see, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation redesigned and redone with Muppets here and everything, AI does not know the subtleties of acting. It's not there yet. Because, like, if it would have taken, like, it took all of his lines and it took him at a decent pace and everything, but there wasn't a musicality to how he was doing it. And there's a musicality within acting. And you know what else has some musicality in it? 6-7. Oh my I love Dutch with Ed O'Neill. People don't talk about it enough. We had contemplated doing Dutch one year for something.
One of the most unique movies of 2025 is hitting theaters this Thanksgiving. It's
Wish I had it theaters this Thanksgiving. Is that what we're doing? I gotta go on the internet and take a butter for your thing. Why people talk like this is beyond me. Let's go.
called Eternity, and it's starring Elizabeth Olsen.
Oh no! I remember why I picked this and why I downloaded it. Now it was number one because of this fucking voice. Number two is that this was a sponsored ad. This was an ad. Someone paid this man for this. Unbelievable, dog. Companies, if you want somebody who's literate and can speak and just be able to convey your message and not sound like a dumb robot, just give me a call, dude. The amount of money that I don't know what you're paying them, but I'm worth 10 times as much as whatever the fuck you're paying these people, because this is unbelievably bad. That's a movie that comes out at the theater. You should go watch it. It'll be good.
Miles Teller and Callum Turner.
You see how I'm saying? It's a shame.
And it follows a man named Larry who wants to reconnect with his wife Joan in the afterlife.
They do a thing. They don't want to be in the afterlife because they want to be in the pre-life of everything.
Only to get there and find out that Joan's first husband Luke is also there waiting.
You don't talk to your wife like this, dude. Yeah, honey, I'm going to go mow the lawn
for her. Leading to the big question of who is Joan going to spend eternity with? This sounds like such an interesting take on
so interesting that they paid me to talk about it. So interesting. Very interesting.
The romantic dramedy. I love when high concept films come out and really feel like something you've never seen before. And
this doesn't feel that high concept. What are we talking about?
This movie being set in the afterlife within this very
I'm sorry. Oh. Oh my gosh. We've never heard of a movie like this before where somebody goes and dies in the afterlife and then they have to figure stuff. Oh, wait. That's called Defending Your Life by Albert Brooks. Get out of here, dude.
complicated love triangle means it's probably going to ask some really big existential questions.
Is that Precious? Precious looking like a storm.
Like, if you were stuck between two people that you have a deep connection with, who would you choose to spend eternity with?
I
love the cast here too.
I choose to stay with Miles Teller.
Always love seeing Elizabeth Olsen in anything, especially with the mix of genres here. I think a lot of people can find something to love in this one, and it looks like a great film to see over Thanksgiving and the holiday season.
Oh yeah, go ahead and do it. I just heard about this movie. I have to ask how it compares to the Albert Brooks Defending Your Life, which I was indeed going to get at the time. You are correct, because that's what he just described to you for the most part. Am I wrong? That's more or less the plot to Defending Your Life.
Okay, so I want to know your thoughts on this. I'm relatively new to the physical media stuff.
I mean, if this is what you got, I'm going to say that you definitely are fairly new to that. What is this, 4 DVDs?
And with that, I've had one belief in that. I 100% prefer blind buys. These two right here.
That's a wild thought right there. You prefer a blind buy over knowing what you're getting? That's an interesting take. Let's hear him out.
Blind buys. Everything that I bought recently, blind buys. I love blind buys. I love the surprise. I love not knowing what I'm getting myself into. Moreover, and I don't know if this is anyone but me, I think there's more value in a blind buy. I'm not a huge rewatcher, so blind buying for me means I'm going to get to see the movie for the first time. I'm purchasing the movie, I'm getting to see it for the first time. And
Listen, this can be a really good thing. It certainly can be a good thing. And yeah, like I said, that was part of the VHS potluck night and everything. The whole goal was for everybody to, as a group, watch a movie that no one else had seen before. And that was kind of so it was more or less like walking into a new release. If no one had seen what we're talking about before, it is a good time that way.
actually experience it for the first time, which to me holds like some extra value almost. Would love to hear if there's anyone else like me out here thinking like that. Or do you prefer buying something that you know that you love and just...
I prefer buying something that I know and enjoy. But not always. I will definitely do some blind buys and stuff like that. And every now and then, you know, they don't work out. But more often than not, they're not bad decisions.
Keeping that around. Or you both? Do you do both? Especially now that I have 3 more blind buys coming, just would love to know what everyone does with their physical media stuff. Are you blind buy or not?
I'm a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. But mostly I try to know, at least have a good idea or a pretty strong indication that I'm going to like the movie.
AI made the dumbest possible Home Alone BTS I could possibly imagine.
I got pissed at this. I was almost going to talk about it last week and everything because I saw some pictures and stuff like that. And I was like, well, this is all bullshit. I mean, like I knew that, like, and some people were thinking like, oh, wow, this is crazy. And people were getting really flipped about it and everything. And I knew it was bullshit, but I'm shocked that other people didn't catch on that this was certainly not how any of this works. And I think this guy's going to break it down.
There's no world where a green screen setup or miss lighting or miss camera rig or 2 mismatched boom.
At least they're film cameras. I'll give them credit for that. The film cameras, yes, because they were still shooting 35 millimeter then. So at least they get credit for that.
Likes would make sense. Filming that on a green cyc is the worst, most inefficient way to do it.
Yeah, no, it really is. That was a full plane set. And you saw it in the fact that they moved around in the plane set because they did a forward shot of her. There's side shots and everything. There's almost damn near shots of the ceiling if they're not actual shots of the ceiling and stuff like that. So that was not shot like that at all.
Would look awful. The camera here isn't even at Kevin's eye line, and the crew and studio setups are not even close. This is just not how good movies were ever shot.
No, exactly.
Every camera is from a different era, and the real Home Alone was actually shot in a real house in Illinois that I've personally seen. The person who made these AI videos took real stills from the movie, gave them to an
just said, widen out and show me what this production would look like.
An AI photo generator, told it to reimagine behind the scenes shots, then ran those AI pictures through an AI video generator. I'm telling you that because that is so easy to do that you're going to see AI stuff like this all the time, but it serves no purpose.
Hey, those were real. Those guys are all real. What are you talking about?
Other than getting views. These are useless, misinformed, wasteful, uninspired. They are only there for attention and frankly insult the working people from the film and production industries who are getting crushed right now.
It's true. Actually, many of the Criterion purchases are blind buy, but I trust Criterion to deliver a good movie, so I'm not risking as much. Exactly. When there's something like that that's out there, and like, you know, like you can do that with them, you can do that usually with Arrow Video. That's not too bad. When you get to like a Vinegar Syndrome, though, flip of the coin, my friend. You could be getting, you know, something really great. You could be getting some ass. Vinegar Syndrome, by the way, I don't know if you heard this. Is now putting out a 4K special edition of Troll 2. That's right. Your favorite and mine, Troll 2, coming to 4K. Special edition 4K.
The new norm, the new standard, shooting everything at a 1.4. Everything's just bokeh. You don't even see the background. You don't.
Why movies don't look like movies anymore.
don't see the extras. It's all basically blur except for whatever is primarily in focus. And it's radically different than cinema of the past. And it just creates, again, this look, this aesthetic that digital filmmakers thought was cinematic, but has been pushed to the limit past what a traditionally cinematic movie would have ever done.
I think a lot of that is digital cameras and stuff like that, obviously. I think even, believe it or not, even like I think a lot of prosumer even cinematography and stuff has kind of lent towards this aesthetic to where the bokeh out background here and everything comes into highly into play, and how that's kind of perceived to be a cinematic look.
And to the point where now it looks cheaper because it is trying to emulate the cinema aesthetic, but pushing it past its limit. You've also got dynamic range being the end-all be-all for modern filmmakers. This obsession with that perfect roll-off on these digital sensors, trying to avoid any kind of clipping. The highlights have to be retained. The shadows have to be retained.
I don't know that that's all necessarily true, but I think a lot of that, though, is for like post-production purposes and stuff like that, to give them as much breathing room in post. That's probably true.
Everything needs to be 10% to 90%. Nothing can be white. Nothing can be black. Everything's got to be a shade of gray. And this is not film. Yes, film has a very large dynamic range. It has very nice roll off into the highlights and the shadows. But honestly, digital is almost better than it now, to a point where we have too much dynamic range. Everything's become flat and low contrast for the sake of retaining every single pixel of information. A window can never be blown out. A shadow can never be clipped. Nothing can ever.
I see. I don't like him painting in these vagaries, because I've seen all of those things in fairly recent movies. So it's not like they're not there.
Go outside those limits, and so we have so much detail within the frame that we have almost no contrast. We have all the dynamic range in the world, and yet everything looks kind of flat. And you'll notice it as the technology has gotten better. This problem has become more and more problem, where things just look kind of gray and washed out now.
And again, that's all visual aesthetics and choices and stuff like that. It's not necessarily the medium with which you're shooting it.
Because we just have so much dynamic range, and
I think this guy just learned the fucking phrase dynamic range and is really leaning in.
We're not pushing things to the natural way, film would see it, or even the human eye. If you're inside and you walk outside, it's bright and blinding and almost overexposes your eye. Same thing if you're outside and you go inside, you walk in and it's black and shadowy and dark and you can't hardly see anything. We have an inherent contrast in the way we see the world. And so for an entire spectrum of light to be displayed perfectly exposed in digital just looks a little unnatural, and it's a little off-putting.
Do you guys ever think about dying?
I think about it sometimes.
Along with dynamic range, though, chasing these filmic results, people started soft lighting everything. And you see soft boxes and domes and china balls and book lights on every single light. Everything has a modifier. And no one wanted to shoot harsh light. Everything had to be super soft for that sake of dynamic range, right? As the camera technology is getting better, well, along that journey, when it wasn't as good as it is now, people...
Right, but why would you want something to look shittier, though? Because if it's not going to aesthetically help it, why would you lean into that?
We're trying to fix it by modifying their lights, making them softer and softer and softer and softer. But you end up losing even more contrast when you do that, because now you have no harsh light, you have no shape, you have no structure, you have no detail or texture. Whereas old school cinema, old movies, it was a giant...
Well, The Third Man, come on now. What are we comparing The Third Man to, 50 Shades of Grey? Get out of here, dude.
Harsh light. Like I said, blasting light at that scene, at the subject, to light everything up so they could get the film exposed properly, so they wouldn't have everything super blurry. These lenses of the past, let's not forget, these lenses weren't optically perfect like they are now, and so those fast apertures were really soft. So you didn't want to...
But a lot of times those things didn't turn out super well and everything. So it's just like there's arguments on all sides. The one question every guy wants to hear.
Could you just explain the difference between Dolby and IMAX?
Yes. So Dolby is more about sound. While yes, it has a
Well, you're already wrong. They used to only be about all the sound, but all right, let's hear what he's saying so we can correct.
big screen. There's going to be speakers surrounding everyone. IMAX is a bigger screen. And IMAX 70 millimeter, actually, that's a completely different format. There's only been 15 films in film history shot in IMAX 70 millimeter. And the latest one being Sinners, the next one being The Odyssey. And The Odyssey will be shot entirely in IMAX 70.
Oh boy. And you didn't even bother to turn the music down to the appropriate level. Ain't that a B?
Which is in and of itself, because we're going to see the entire film in this format, but there's not going to be that many theaters in this country that actually show it.
So it's going to be kind of what we'll call a waste.
Entirely in its format, because Interstellar was shot in IMAX 70 millimeter, but only 50 minutes of the movie was actually shot in that film format. So to see an epic like The Odyssey entirely in IMAX,
in a big giant square 4:3 image, who's excited? Who's excited to see a 4:3 image of a movie for fucking 3 hours? Are you jazzed?
70 millimeter will be something like out of a movie. That's why they sold the tickets a year in advance, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
It's like a blog article. They don't know how to end it, so they just go, fuck it, we end.
Every time I rob a jewelry store, a Ninja Turtle shows up and beats my little butt. Like, why do they even care? Why do the Ninja Turtles care so much about the private property rights of the diamond industry? They live in a sewer, and it's not like they don't steal. They steal from the taxpayer every day living down there, doing unspeakable damage to public infrastructure.
I got that right.
Grinding their skateboards on all the utility lines.
Doing God knows what.
And they don't have jobs, so how do they have the money for pizza and gadgetry? They steal it.
You got that right, boy. They fucking thieves.
And I only steal from the jewelry store because my children have no jewels. My children have no gems or jewels. And every morning I wake up and I see my son, my beautiful boy, at the breakfast table. Not a single tennis bracelet adorns his wrist.
That's a bunch of crap. No one should have to live like that.
How do you think that makes him feel? Unloved. So I robbed the jewelry store, or at least I would if a Ninja Turtle didn't show up every time and beat my little butt.
Son of a gun.
And this is exactly why I went to City Hall and demanded we put a law in place banning rats from adopting turtles. But everybody laughed at me then. Oh, that'll never happen. And even if it did, what harm would it cause?
And even if it did.
Well, it did happen. And we can see the harm. Because a rat adopted turtles and turned them into some kind of a child army to fight an ancient blood feud in our city streets.
It's not right.
And also beat my little butt for some reason.
They're a menace to society. You know, I think I am the only person on the internet that Arrow Video didn't send a copy of that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 4K to. They sent it to everybody but me, man. All right, Arrow Video, I got you. I imported the good, the bad, and the ugly from Britain. That's how much I care. And okay, fair enough. They just go, you ain't got no viewers. And I'm like, all right. You ain't got to say it like it is.
I take no pleasure in saying this. I have seen some films that I consider to be grotesque, but I struggle to think of one more grotesque than Little Man.
I don't know why I think this. And I had to check. But I think a friend of the show, if you know, you know. I thought he worked on Little Man. Could only imagine.
It is in every way, evil-minded, bad, you know.
Oh, come on. White Chicks is worse than Little Man. Little Man is just about, you know, like we got Damon here and the little kid, you know. Why or Marlon, I forget which one. They're all the Wayans to me. Come on now.
Profoundly depressing indictment of the way in which the modern movie industry works. I mean, one of the saddest things is that the Wayans brothers have actually become the most successful black filmmakers of all time, financially speaking, which ought to be something about which one can celebrate. But it is the most retrograde, horrible, nauseating,
well, bullcrap sells, buddy.
Inward-looking, smug, repulsive, grotesque, ill-advised, badly judged,
patronizing.
No,
I haven't seen it. I'm just offering you.
No, patronizing. I mean, you sit there thinking, is it me, or is everyone in the cinema taking a collective breath and thinking, you can't really have made this film?
Why not? Like all of a sudden, I'm starting to think Little Man's probably pretty good.
You really cannot have sat in script meetings and decided that this was a good idea. I was very reassured today to read a couple of reviews in newspapers, all 1 stars, all saying exactly the same thing, saying that there is no pit deep enough in the world to dispose of every single copy of this film. It is, and I say this seriously, it is evil. And if you go and see it, shame on you.
It's not how. You mean it's offensive?
I mean it's evil.
What do you?
He says if you go and see it, like when the fuck was this interview? He's acting like Little Man out in theaters now. Okay, well, fucking whatever, dude. Just no, go away. Stop it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to. I was trying to get together and show you this. That Little Man is at 12% on Rotten Tomatoes with 55% on the for the viewers. Critics say another gimmicky comedy from the Wayans brothers. Little Man comes with the requisite raunchiness, but forgot to bring the laughs. Pretty sad.
There is such a thing.
In what way is it evil?
I mean, there is such a thing
by
as
the devil,
good.
is it?
In what way is it evil? Is it by the devil?
The movie has a message. It has several messages, and the message is pretty much as follows. Firstly, little people are really funny because they look like babies, and
they are. That's a little funny. Come on now. Come on. There's a little inherent funniness to it. Doesn't make them, you know, lesser people or nothing, but it's a little funny. Just like when big giant people are funny too. You see a big old giant dude, you laugh because it's like, oh man, look at that dude. How's he drive? This is the only kind of car I can afford.
And that's hilarious. Secondly, they're really funny because they look like babies, but you know, with grown-up attachments, and that.
Yeah, you ever see Baby Herman? You know what I'm talking about? Roger Rabbit?
That's really, really hilarious. Thirdly, however, they're not that funny, so in order to make them funny, we have to superimpose the head of Marlon Wayans onto the body of a 9-year-old.
Well, what do you want them to do? Do you want to Mark Wiener the situation? What are you talking about, dog?
Year-old little person to create the thing that we think is funny, which doesn't exist in the real world, but we think it's funny anyway.
Man, the shit that British people like and be laughing at too, like y'all ain't got no place to talk about nothing. You ain't got no place to talk about nothing.
Fourthly, breastfeeding is absolutely hilarious, and
you ever seen it?
It's all to do with sex, and boy, the laughs just never stop. Fifthly, if you're a woman, please quit your job immediately and go back to having children, because that's what you're meant to do. I mean,
well, listen, I mean, the world was a better place when, you know, the jobs were more plentiful. People would be hired at bigger wages and stuff because there'd be less people in the workforce. So wages would go up. Listen, people don't like it, but there's advantages to that for a lot of people.
I seriously think it's the most wretched, rancid
Even the internet was like, nah, we're just moving on. What's next?
I fucking hate Paul Dano, okay? He's the worst part of There Will Be Blood, alright? He's a mediocre actor that doesn't hold a candle to Daniel Day, okay?
Oh, it's not far off.
Whoa, why are you hating on him, Quentin? Because he's weak sauce, and I don't like weak sauce in my cinematic spaghetti, Betty.
And you've said these comments publicly.
Yeah, bitch fuck.
Well, you've gotten some reactions from some pretty big names.
Probably agreeing with me, those sheeple. You know, Hollywood eats out the fucking palm of my blood-soaked hand, okay?
Not exactly, no.
What?
Well, Ben Stiller said Paul Dano is fucking brilliant.
Paul Dano, fucking brilliant? All right, he's a good actor. Fucking brilliant? That might be a little bit of a stretch.
Okay, Zoolander, like you know.
Are we gonna? Ooh, I just thought about this. Are we gonna start treating Paul Dano like we treat Brendan Fraser? That's a legit question, because we treat Brendan Fraser these days like he's a retarded person. We do, and I don't know why. I know he had some struggles. I know there were some, some things that went down where there was somebody that was, being kind of pervy and stuff like that. But like, I don't know.
No taste.
Have you not seen Severance?
I've seen Zoolander.
Matt Reeves, the director of Batman, said that Paul Dano is an incredible actor and an incredible person.
Well, maybe he should stop worrying.
Well,
about me, all right, and start worrying about his slow, boring Batman too, okay? It's probably gonna be a ripoff of Mask of the Phantasm, okay? Boring.
Okay, well, Josh Gad said that Paul Dano.
Oh, first of all, fuck Josh Gad in his face. He's the worst. If there's, that's mine. That's mine. If Quentin Tarantino wants to talk shit about Paul Dano, I'm gonna talk shit about Josh Gad. Fuck Josh Gad. He's terrible. You want to talk about the worst actor in SAG? Paul Dano ain't got nothing. Ain't got nothing on Josh Gad. Josh Gad is atrocious. He's so terrible in everything and in every way. That's Josh Gad is my Paul Dano. I've just put it together.
Is one of the best actors of our time. Full stop.
Olaf said that?
No. Paul Dano's co-stars in There Will Be Blood have come out and praise on him, and Alec Baldwin released a video.
What?
Alec Baldwin's like, listen, he's perfectly fine. He's a good guy.
I love Paul Dano.
He looks like he's under duress. I love him. I was just like, I'm still relevant. I didn't kill that woman and the director. Shit.
And if you don't love
Paul Dano defended me on many occasions.
Paul Dano.
Oh, I'm gonna get shot.
Yeah.
He's gonna fucking shoot me.
Yeah, that might happen.
Why are they doing this, okay? They weren't mad when I said shit about Owen Wilson and Matthew Lillard, all right?
Exactly. I didn't talk about Matthew Lillard. And Matthew Lillard said it, kind of hurts too. But here's the thing. I'm not going to lie to you. He wasn't wrong about Matthew Lillard. He's not really all that wrong. Matthew Lillard's a great guy. I think he's a decent enough actor. But let's not pretend that he's doing these great roles. He's just not. He's a lovely dude. Lovely guy. Seems to be a great person. Is he the greatest actor in the world? No. It's just not.
Maybe because Owen Wilson and Matthew Lillard didn't give us one of the defining performances of the 2000s like Dano did.
Bullshit. Have you seen Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed? Shaggy and that fuck's fucking hard, all right? Fucking Shaggy.
Quentin, can you just admit that you were wrong? Paul Dano is an amazing actor who was never given a mediocre performance.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
He's usually always the standout. But my takes are always legit, all right? Like when I said The Hunger Games is just a fucking ripoff of Battle Royale.
It is. It 100% is.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, fucking Americans thinking they can rip off Japanese shit.
Oh, like how Kill Bill is basically a ripoff of Lady Snowblood, Five Finger.
No, yeah, listen, those aren't, that's different. But the
Fingers of Death, Game of Death, and Lone Wolf and Cub. Okay, well, I steal from every movie, motherfucker, all right? That's my vibe. I'm like a rap producer sampling music, fucking wiki shit, fuck yeah.
So you see how weird it is of you to accuse people of ripping off other movies when that's exactly what you do?
Fuck you, man. You're really harsh.
It's not the same thing. It's not.
My vibe, all right? I'm just gonna leave, okay?
Where are you going?
I'm gonna go where every man goes to when they come under some controversy, all right? Tel Aviv.
Israel!
Oh, boy. Yep. See, and it's, you always, there's always moments where somebody will mask off and let you know exactly who they are. Yeah. All right. What's next? Holy shit.
White folks got hood movies too. I grew up in a
Yeah.
little podunk town where all the poor folks just lived on top of each other. So growing up, I had the pleasure of seeing a.
Oh, hold on. My camera just went fuck. I think my camera does not hold, or my phone doesn't hold a charge for shit anymore. So it's going to be. We'll just go over to the other camera. Oh, it's the studio display. It looks like ass. Let's at least try to frame it up so we don't look completely terrible. All right, let's go.
Plethora of white movie collections. I can't speak for most white folks. Well, I can't really speak for any white folks. But there are certain movies
Thank you for not speaking for us.
that you will definitively see in low
I, however, will start speaking for the black man right now.
income white households. Let's call it the trailer park criteria. The Ernest series.
Ooh, this is a good topic. The Trailer Park Criterion Collection. Huh. Anytime that you would go to a trailer park, this would be the movies that are in that collection. I like this idea. Ernest movies, fuck yes.
I've only seen these in like houses with white moms.
I got all the Ernest movies. I'll tell you that right now.
Con Air. Nick Cage is really the white Wesley.
Hell yes. Hell yeah. Nick Cage is the white Wesley Snipes. That's holy crap, that's accurate. That is so accurate. Hell yes.
Wesley Snipes. Or maybe Wesley Snipes is the black Nick Cage.
It may be either or.
I don't know. The Dumb and Dumber series. Lock this in.
Yeah, everybody. But that's everybody though. Everybody likes that. But you would 100% find that in a white trash house for sure.
Jim Carrey is really the white Eddie Murphy. That's really
100%.
a compliment because I like Jim Carrey way more than I like Eddie Murphy.
Ooh, take that, Eddie.
8 seconds. You probably didn't even know I knew that one.
Yeah, 8 seconds is a good. Yeah, I could see. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, more the kind of rednecky sort of thing. Yep.
Sling Blade and Bad Santa.
Bad Santa, yes. Sling Blade, maybe not as much, just because it is a little bit more arty and stuff like that. So I don't see that being in most people's houses. The Waterboy, however, is in every white trailer park for sure. For sure.
Waterboy and sometimes Happy Gilmore. Joe.
Most of the time Happy Gilmore, but for sure Waterboy.
Dirt, duh. Smokey and the Band.
Yeah, Smokey, no doubt.
Bandit, Talladega Nights.
For sure. And Mama's got Sweet Magnolias, Steel Magnolias, that. Mama's got that.
Magnolias and fried green tomatoes.
Yep. Yo, southern ass mama got that.
Sweet Home Alabama.
My mom got all of these.
8 Mile.
My mom ain't got 8 Mile, though, I'll tell you that.
Brothers and the Beverly Hillbillies.
Man, I saw the Beverly Hillbillies in the theater, everybody. That's how kind of rad I am. Actually, I saw all 3 of these movies in the theater. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's funny. Wildly different.
The original Jumanji, Twister, Borat. There's way more than that, but hopefully y'all get the picture.
Yeah, that's a good category that we got to start there at some point. I have the Jim Varney movies. Suck it, Adam. No, that's not true. I don't have Dr. Otto and the Riddle of Gloom, Beam, or Beverly Hillbillies. Beverly Hillbillies, the Boondock Saints. Oh my God, Alex, correct Amundo, 1,000%. That's like the gold. That's like that's the crowning jewel of every white trash hood selection ever. Is fucking Boondock Saints. Ugh. Oh God, if you like Boondock Saints, go ahead and unsubscribe right now. I don't want your subscription. What's next?
I'm a baby. Wait, I can't use my phone?
What people who don't like going to the movie theaters start again now. It's not big enough on my screen. What people who don't like going to the movie theaters sound like to me.
Then why would I go? I just prefer spending my time watching stuff that's actually important. Like Twitch. I think I'm actually just lazy.
But the only trashiest people prefer Boondock Saints if ding man, old oh boy. Don't get me started on the Boondock Saints. Today's young movie stands don't have movie stars, not movie stands. I was thinking about the last guy. Today's younger movie stars don't have memorable performances. Let's see what he's got.
The people who are constantly saying that movies are in such a great place, that we have such great stuff coming out, why is it that none of the younger big names in Hollywood have any memorable roles in an iconic movie? You think McConaughey and think, all right.
Williams, but it didn't start that way. That was just a nothing role that he just did, kind of on a whim and everything. And Linklater liked him and said, "Hey, let's broaden this out a little bit." It wasn't even designed as that. It wasn't even written. The character wasn't even written.
All right. You think Leo, it's
well, it's also it's quite the performance. What's his character's name, by the way? You don't know. Number two, it's the highest grossing film of all time for a decade. What are you talking about?
Now, I'm not saying that these new actors aren't talented, but what are the memorable breakout performances for Glenn Powell or Timothy Chalamet?
I mean, the movies themselves aren't all that good. It's not necessarily. I don't blame them on these things per se.
Then you have the ones who broke out from a popular TV series like Zendaya or Millie Bobby Brown, Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega popped in movies before she popped on television, so you're wrong there. She got some clout with like X and the Scream movie and stuff like that. What are you talking about?
Sydney Sweeney, but none of them have given a movie role that strikes me as particularly memorable.
I mean, no, but again, that's why are you blaming them though? They're not the ones who wrote it. They're just the ones that are in it.
Even the ones who did have roles that were celebrated in the film community, like Austin Butler for Elvis or Margaret Qualley in The Substance.
Right.
I don't think a large portion of the mainstream movie audience would say either of those movies are rewatchable.
What the fuck is this layout here that I'm looking at? With the keyboard, the laptop there, and this thing. This is how you design your blue screen? That's weird.
So what are movies or movie stars if they're not producing memorable performances?
Well, we don't have any of that shit today at all. We don't have anything that Hollywood used to have. Hollywood's given up. The whole Warner Brothers thing getting sold to possibly Netflix at this point. It's all terrible, dude.
That become a part of pop culture.
I don't know.
Is courting creators a winning marketing strategy to get people to go back to movie theaters?
No. Let me ask you something, everybody. Is there any influencer that ever made you go like, ooh, I got to go watch that movie? I doubt it. You were probably going to go watch that movie on account of. You didn't go like, ooh, Straw Hat Goofy likes it. Fuck. Now I got to go watch. Who's ever said that? Has anyone ever said that?
I wish I could say yes, but I fear that the answer is no. Most creators, whether they come from press outlets, YouTube, or social media, do their job organically well, which is to drive up engagement and keep the conversation going about a particular project.
Which is why I will never be, invited to these things, because that's not something that I would do. Like, hey, just grease the wheels a little more, and I'm like, nope.
What they can't influence is what we really need right now, which is a great theatrical experience at an affordable price. Just recently, Warner Brothers hosted an event for Supergirl where they invited prominent creators from outlets, YouTube channels, and social media.
Didn't get an invite. Would I have gone if I was invited? Probably not.
And what's smart is that most in attendance are authentic fans.
No, they're not. Not really. I doubt it.
Surface, this worked wonders for Superman. The cast didn't just get interviewed by major press outlets, they got interviewed by content creators.
What was it like on the movie when you said all the lines? That was good. I saw a girl today interview somebody. I don't remember what it was, but I just wanted to jump out of a window for everyone involved.
Even throwing special Superman screenings for these elite creators. When it came time for Superman to fly, thanks in part to these creators, he kind of did. Except for the part that, due to the total budget of $350 million and with the split with the theaters, as of right now,
they don't split that much with the theaters. They get more than the theaters do.
Superman is actually in the red. So while the internet was full of chatter about Superman,
I don't know about that. Let me look at the old box office mojo. Superman. Worldwide $316 million. That's a push. After that box office and everything, I wouldn't say it's a major loser. I'd say that's a push. Fuck.
due to the total budget of $350 million and with the split with the theaters, as of right now, Superman is actually in the red. So while the internet was full of chatter about Superman, the engagement from social media, YouTube, and outlets didn't fully translate into a profit for Superman, which is what needs to happen if we want more of these films to keep getting made.
Well, we won't. And let's be honest with you, HMP kind of retired itself at just the right time. I think that we created the show right at the superhero kind of boom and when it was really kind of flowing and everything. And we decided to walk away from the show just before it all crashed to the ground. And I feel like I'm very pleased with that fact that we kind of, saw everything cresting and we were just like, it's over.
Guys, we are in serious trouble. Theatrical windows are shortening if Netflix has anything to say about it.
It'll be instantaneous.
Although we'll see what happens here. Ticket prices continue to surge, which is not incentive for people to go to theaters. And not only does James Gunn actually agree that superhero fatigue is real, the quality coming out of these studios seemed to just range from, all right, it was good, to, wow, can I get my 2.5 hours back? My question for Hollywood is, if you're going to keep this winning strategy of wining and dining authentic fan creators, who do we have to wine and dine to influence stellar entertainment at an affordable price?
Thank you. Influencers are dipshits. They're stupid people who don't know anything, who, for whatever reason, have gained some clout in the internet. And for whatever reason, they and then other people think that these people have opinions that fucking matter. And they don't. They don't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. I don't want people to don't sit there and think that this guy thinks he's good. No, I don't. I don't think I'm hot shit either. But that's why I don't. If they invited me to this, I'd be like, no. What am I going to do? Fake being cool with you people?
If anybody knows the answer to that, spill the tea and let me know.
What's next?
Am I crazy to say that this could be Uncut Gems? 52% audience ratings. You literally are. Some people are worse than other people at being alive. And they're all on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't know about that. I think that's a weird audience score for Uncut Gems. Because I was working in a movie theater at the time for Uncut Gems. And now normally I like watching movies ahead of time before the kind of premiere there and everything. So I kind of, I stay overnight and watch them, and it was always a fun little thing to do. But for whatever reason, I didn't watch Uncut Gems early. But I watched people coming out of the theater, people from all walks of life. Black people, white people, old people, young people, everybody in between. And they fucking love that movie. What are you talking about? I was shocked. I felt like a lot of people were going, oh, it's an Adam Sandler movie. We're going to go watch an Adam Sandler movie, not knowing what the hell they were going to be watching. I was just like, I don't think you guys understand that this is a very different kind of Adam Sandler movie than what you're probably used to. But no, man, people came out of that just smiling ear to ear. They thought they had a fantastic time and a great experience. And when you watch that movie, you go, yeah, I understand.
52% is so fucking insane. It's I look it up like once every 2 months, but it freaks me the fuck out that you could watch this movie and be like, I hate this movie. What did I miss? It was just people yelling for 90 minutes. It's the worst criticism of.
They do be yelling. They do be yelling for 90 minutes.
Film I've ever seen in my entire life. You literally sound like the people on Common Sense Media that were like, they took a shortcut.
I do find that to be a thing sometimes, that people will dislike a movie that makes them feel uncomfortable, that makes them feel strange and stuff like that gives them unwanted feelings or things that they can't mentally process well enough. So then they just go, I don't like this. Well, you don't like how it makes you feel. You don't like the way that it makes you think.
By just using the F word a lot. What happened to good writing that doesn't have to swear? That's not a criticism. That's an observation.
Nah, I will say there's a little bit too much swearing in the movie, and I'm a person that doesn't give a crap about that. But like, there's a little too much swearing in the movie.
Devoid of judgment. Try to defend yourself. Move on. No, this movie it's one of the best. I guess it's not. We did this before. It's not a 2020s movie. It's a 2010s movie. It's one of the best movies of the 2010s. It's okay. Okay, literally, your favorite movie is probably a Spider-Verse or Puss in Boots. I don't need to.
Oh boy, that's like, and then Baldy over here is getting really dramatic about everything. Just like, maybe people don't like the movie. Get off us nuts. Come on.
You like you're a real human being.
Oh, whatever. It's just like, again, I can't understand people that find it impossible to live in more than one world. You know what I mean? I remember somebody saying, like, why are you watching all these Michael Bay movies? You could be watching Apocalypse Now. It's just like, I like that shit too. I like all of it. It's like you can't like Apocalypse Now and not like, Joe Dirt or some shit. Get out of here.
We did that already. We tried that, and it just empowered you, and it emboldened you to spread your awful film takes all over the internet. And now I have to live my life surrounded by people who are in their late 20s who have the film tastes of like a 14-year-old.
Brother, I could imagine you live in that same realm to some degree or another. I don't know, just by looking at you. Just because you're balding way before your time here and everything doesn't mean that you got to be an old bastard about it all.
And it's pissing me the fuck off. Oh,
see, I told you.
The movie made me feel uncomfortable. It's art, bitch!
I agree with that statement, but I'm also saying that you're kind of a little over dramatic, one of these about it. Come on now.
It's fucking art!
Oh boy. See, that don't make you sound like a sane person. This makes you sound like a little bit of a whack job, bud.
That's what it's for!
He's crashing out like Hassan Piker. You gonna shock your dog next, man? Jeez.
I'm gonna fucking explode!
Yeah, this guy's got to check his britches after this one, man. Yikes. That's a rough one, brother. Holy moly. The first Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is totally worthy of being someone's favorite movie. I could see it. He kind of looks like you. Fuck you. No, he does not. Do people with, like, white people with glasses all just look the same to you? Not even close. That guy looked like what's his face? I can't think of it. He was in Mad Max Fury Road. Nicholas Hoult. That guy looked like Nicholas Hoult. What are you talking about?
All right, I made a video recently, like, talking about, like, my mom's favorite movies, and I was kind of just thinking about it, like, man, I was out here at the ripe age of 6 years old watching Hitchcock movies. Like, that's kind of insane.
It's not wildly insane, but, it's a little out of the ordinary, I'd say.
Like, what do you mean a first grader is out here watching film noir? Like,
it would be on a screen. You wouldn't be understanding it or anything. You're not watching Double Indemnity and going like, I understand. Come on.
Like, what? But anyways, yeah, that was like the stuff I was exposed to from like the early days. I mean,
well, when on my 4th birthday they sat me down to watch M. You know how it is.
back when I was little, I mean, I was watching, I was like, these movies are so boring and like, you know.
So, i.e., you weren't really actually watching them. They were movies that were on and you were present, but you weren't watching them. Come on.
Like, I didn't have any appreciation for it whatsoever. But, you know, now that I'm older, I'm like, damn, my mom had taste. Like,
Wouldn't it be funny if she just like, my mom watched White Chicks?
am I wrong?
I think you're a little wrong because all right, we're moving on. You do look like that bald guy. Fuck you. Shut up. I do not look like no. I'm gonna say it. I'm fatter than that guy. You're wrong.
This is the worst Pixar movie, in my opinion. Or
boy, oh boy, when I heard this, I got super excited, everybody, because I believe I agree with Jason here. Wall-E, not very good. Controversial opinion, but I believe it's true.
at least I think it has aged the worst. And I know what you're going to say. If anything, this is one of the most prescient movies ever made.
Wrong.
Predicted our screen time dystopia all the way back in 2008. When this thing was made, the iPhone wasn't even out yet. It even predicted a future in which interpersonal relations occur across a screen. It even predicts an
2001 Space Odyssey did that as well, so
atomized population where couples don't get together and have physical relations anymore. Like,
because that's gross.
There's that moment where they're shocked when they accidentally hold hands. Like, it heavily implies that they're having babies in some other way. So how can I say that it has aged poorly? I mean, even the environmental message about how consumerism will eventually eat the entire world, that seems as relevant as ever. The problem, and the thing that I think is going to make the film age poorly, is how it handles AI. It makes it clear that AI is how they got this, because in a sufficiently automated system, there's really nothing for the humans to do except consume. So it's a world where they literally don't leave their seats. They just consume media on a screen, they play games, they talk to each other.
Well, so far so good.
And then they just eat and drink, and that's it.
Very accurate.
The film makes it very clear, even if it never comes out and says it, that the humans have no role to play in this society.
Right.
They're not working or creating or exploring or loving or fighting. They're just soaking up resources and creating garbage. You know what character doesn't soak up any resources or create any garbage? The heroic and selfless Wall-E. The AIs in this film are shown to be better than the humans in every single possible way. Now, it is true that the explicit plot of the film is about getting the humans back on Earth to restart human society. But
y'all got to start fucking again. That was the theme of Wall-E.
It would be very reasonable for a viewer to look at them and say, why? When Wall-E is shown on the trashed Earth, the tragedy of his situation is not that the humans are gone, but that he is alone. The film then goes to great lengths to make it clear that robot relationships are just as true and valid and deep as human relationships.
But they're not, because they're robots. Wrong.
That their love, that their emotions are just as real and just as valid.
No, they're not. They're robots. They're not people. That's why when the clankers come around, when we get to the clanker portion that we're going to eventually get to, I ain't going to feel bad. That's going to be like they don't got feelings. They're robots.
Difference that they didn't trash the earth. They don't have that kind of greed and short-term thinking. This film, I think,
you should be like a robot.
Unintentionally makes the point that it would be better off just turning the earth over to these guys.
Yeah, they do believe that. That is what leftist Hollywood believes. They do believe that, like, if we just stepped away, that somehow nature in the world would just suddenly come to some coalescing, perfect, sphere of reality and everything. And it's just not true.
And if you think I'm being ridiculous, I want you to try something. Show this film to a child and then ask them, Would they rather see a Wall-E sequel that was entirely about the humans? There's no robots because it takes place in a hopeful future where they've taken over the world and don't need the robots anymore. Or would they rather see a sequel that's just the robots in a future where the humans aren't there anymore?
The robots.
I'm guessing that not one child in 100 would want to watch the humans.
Yeah, because the humans are friggin' boring. You 100% look like him. Your twins, 4 eyes. Oh, so that's what it is. All people with glasses. People, white guys, glasses. Guess what? You're the same. Even though you got full head of hair versus no hair, mustache versus no mustache, you, sir, are on the crack and the cocaine. What's next?
Find the stuff for the true gore hound.
If you're looking for something to watch in the holidays, you're looking for something for a gore hound. Like how this guy talked right away.
The person that says, "Oh, I like my stuff rough, tough, and bloody."
Rough, tough, and bloody. Let me tell you something right now, boy. You come over to my house, you're going to see some faces of death. You're going to see a little bit of a cannibal holocaust, right? We like to, you ever see Torso? Yeah, we got some of that. Tetsuo the Iron Man. You ever seen them? Oh, shit, boy.
This right here is the true blood and guts of your collection.
It's called Evil. It's called Brain Dead, aka Dead Alive. Peter Jackson's.
When you have this particular row in your
This is Salah.
collection, you don't go there much. Every once in a while,
You don't go to the Serbian film section too often. You know what I'm saying?
you want to go there. I piss on your grave, I puke on your grave.
I defecate on your grave. I upchuck on your grave.
I spit on your corpse.
I wash your car.
Piss on your grave. I mean, you can tell what you're getting before you ever even put this in the VCR.
Well, you know what you're getting when it's called "I piss on your grave."
Because they're trying to tell you.
They're trying to tell you, man. Somebody's gonna get it. There's gonna be a grave in this movie, and I'm not gonna lie to you, boy. It's somebody gonna be pissing on it.
This is the game plan's over. These aren't for fun. These are for real. So when you put this in, you sit down, you come away changed a little bit.
You come away changed, man. You get thrown over into the neither world, and you don't know what you're gonna end up doing. You know what I'm saying? How did the financial culture of flat screen TV change under our nose? Okay, what does that even say? I've gotta learn to read.
We talk enough about the fact that TVs just went from being like one of the most expensive things you could buy.
Has it ever occurred to you that
No. Before this guy gets going, TVs are inexpensive. I don't know what you're talking about. TVs have always kind of relatively been inexpensive, and they've only been getting more and more inexpensive as the years go on. The amount of TV and the quality of television that you can get for the price these days is unparalleled, which pisses me off to no degree to go to someone's house and see a television that, I kid you not, is over 15 to 20 years old. I get violently mad at these people, just going, what is wrong with you? You have a 720p television from 2005 here. What are you doing? I understand 20 years ago that you paid $800 for this television, but now you can get a television that's 10 times better for that for $200. Get your stuff together. TVs are so cheap. The quality of television that you can get for the dollar is astounding. You can go out right now and get a very decent quality TCL 7 series television, 65 inches, for under $400. It's ridiculous.
This should be happening to everything in our world, right? Like, TVs are getting cheaper for two reasons. One, they can sell your data. Not so good, but
well, they can only sell your data if you sign up and sign in to the television and stuff like that. If you're like me and you just use an Apple TV, then you don't got to worry about it. It's a bing, bang, boom.
mostly because we've gotten really, really good at making TVs, right? We used to make them one by one. Now we cut LCD glass, these giant sheets, meters and meters long, and we can cut a bunch of TVs out of it so they become cheaper.
Right. That's how industrialization works. And these are also the people that would be complaining about like the capitalistic society on their fucking $1,200 phones. Like, shut up.
Right? Everything around us should be getting cheaper or should be getting better.
And by and large, all of those things are true.
And instead, somehow we are in a world where everything is getting more expensive.
Not televisions. You're wrong there.
And worse, TVs were so expensive that people used to rent them in houses they owned, and now we can buy any TV we want, but we can't afford the house the TV is in.
Listen, you're not gonna get arguments from me about how things are jacked up, but why we're blaming a TV, I don't know.
See, if our lives had kept pace with productivity and technology, we could be living in like veritable
Oh my God, the people that are just like, this could be like Star Trek. Shut up.
Utopias right now with cheap cars.
Oh my God. And every time that they go to these futures and stuff in movies and whatnot, it's a hellscape.
Cheap houses.
Oh yeah, that's what we want. Cheap houses.
Amazing streets because fixing potholes has gotten cheaper. Imagine if
No. You want to know why none of these things that you're talking about are not cheaper? Government is involved, you jackhole. That's you want to make sure that things go to the top as far as expenses go. Get the government involved because they do a great job at like saving money, doing things in a quick and efficient manner. Oh wait, they don't do any of that shit. What are you talking about, dude?
Hospitals were like TVs. If you walked in and they said, "Oh, this procedure used to cost $1,000, but
now the insurance money," and again, because insurance companies are able to lobby politicians and things like that, these are problems that we have made for ourselves, people.
We can do it for $150 because technology is amazing. I don't think I'm crazy for thinking that's how the world should be.
Should be, but the problem is that you won't allow it to be that way, because if free market and other things were in the way or weren't allowed to be where they're supposed to be, we wouldn't have these problems.
I think it's crazy to expect us to pay subscription services for heated seats or safety features.
Now that's fucking stupid. I will never buy, like, it's bad enough that like you got to buy for my car, for example. My car has the ability to do auto start, and which is like super nice for when it's like really, really cold or really, really hot outside. So you can, start your car and hit the, if it's cold, to hit that heater. If it's hot, turn on the AC. And so when you get in your car, it's a lot cooler or hotter, a little bit more temperate and nice for your drive. Amazing feature. And then the fact that you can, with your phone, you can, leave your keys in the car, lock your car, go away, come back, open your car with your key, with your phone and everything. That sort of stuff is amazing and should be free within the car because I purchased the car. But they want a fee every year, and it keeps going up. I think like last year it's like $200 for the year. That's a lot of money, dude. I'm just like, I am not that hot or cold to where I feel like I didn't get it this year, so it's been pretty rough waking up at 3:00 in the morning going into work when it's as cold as it is. But that should be included within the price. Should be included. It's so stupid that you got to pay extra for that.
Features in cars.
I suppose that I could do the remote start thingy, but it doesn't do all the temp stuff that you'd want it to do.
We are better at making things now than ever before in human history, and I just don't think we should accept all of that being extracted by a few people and then rented back to us.
Yeah, you say that, but you're the first person to do the streaming services. You're the first, that it doesn't work like that. But you guys are the ones that are going like, oh, let's just shoot physical media. Yeah. Sounds like a real brainer move there, guys. I was raised by TV, and I turned out okay. Yeah, guess what? A lot of Gen X and millennials were raised by television. You're right, and we all turned out pretty decent for the most part. Sure, there's a couple of jackholes in there, but that's everybody everywhere all the time. What are you kidding me? That's how things work around here. Well, that is it, everybody. We got another TikTok Trash Tuesday under our belts here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out and doing all the cool stuff. We really appreciate you. Hit that like and subscribe button if you hadn't hit the hype button. For the love of Pete, hit the hype button. It's super easy to do if you're on mobile. Just swipe over the little thing just above the comments and everything. Swipe until you see the hype button. It's got a little, looks like the NBC More You Know star. Click that bad boy. It doesn't cost you a single solitary thing, but it helps this show get out to more people. And hopefully we can fill up the chat with more and more people each and every episode. And we really appreciate that. We've been going 22 episodes strong with TikTok Trash Tuesday and H&P Volume 2. We're rolling up to episode 80 here real fast. So, if you take that and then the 600 plus episodes from all the other years previous and whatnot, we've been doing this for quite some time. And we have been able to do so because of the fine generosity of you awesome people coming by, liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that kind of good stuff, going over to patreon.com/HMP. Again, I want to hold on. We're going to want to plug all the Patreon supporters again for coming and hanging out and just helping keep this show afloat every single week. We really appreciate that. Love you guys so much for all of that. That is it, everybody. Join us next week, 8 p.m. Eastern, for another TikTok Trash Tuesday. What are you saying? What is it? How much? That's about what I figure from you. That is it, everybody. Join us on Sunday evening for TikTok for a regular episode of HMP, where we're asking, "Is this Christmas?" And I'll leave you with the "Is this Christmas" jingle as featured on HMP. We'll see you guys next week.
Now is this a Christmas movie? Now is this a Christmas movie? Now is this a Christmas movie? Or is it dumb slop?